like a utility cart.
Randy.
And then we'll stack the pans on it and take them in.
Oh, Randy.
Really?
No,
You're
no,
doing it
no,
wrong, man.
No, man. Welcome to Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the fabulous Randy Twyford, thank you.
And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 74.
74.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite of 47.
Right. I'll just warn everybody, Darren's in a mood.
He is.
So there's
That's
going to be
why
a
I
lot
was
of problems
giggling at the
solved.
beginning.
And I think we can just circumvent this whole conversation. And I don't know whether that's the right word, but it sounded good. There's going to be no fuckery. No fuckery.
That's not possible. With you two, that is literally impossible.
There's no fuckery. Darren's on a time schedule. Darren, I am kind of be glad to sit down, though. This feels really good.
Why, have you been busy?
The schedule might have been a little busy. I was telling these guys earlier, I think since Friday, I've sat down 10 minutes. 5 of that was to sit down and take a dump. But, I mean, literally from 4 a.m. yesterday morning till 8:30 last night, I was on a dead-ass run the entire day. And it was crazy. And today is kind of started out the same exact way. And it was like just run. And, you know, you look back and a lot of it is avoidable. It's just avoidable stuff that it's like it goes back to, and we've talked about this a lot of time, the inventory. And it's the inventory methods that we follow. Right? You got your LIFO inventory, last in, first out. You got your FIFO inventory, first in, first out, or the Smokey D's inventory, the OSWO, oh shit, we're out.
Yeah, right.
Inventory. And, you know, a lot of times the employee's answer is, that's okay. We just won't sell that. And, you know, me being customer centric, customer focused guy, I'm like, no. That's not the way this works.
They forget who's paying what pays their check.
Yeah, right. So, yesterday was one trip to Cisco for a will call, 3 trips to Sam's Club, 3 different times. Because nobody can, anytime I raise my hand saying, hey, anybody need anything from Sam's Club? Going to Sam's Club, going to Cisco, oh, no, we're all good. And then you get back and going, hey, we're out of this.
God forbid if anybody would write anything down on a grocery list that they would
just
need.
do like a quick check before you leave.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's just check the cooler really fast.
Oh, I could. Oh, yeah, cooler. I think that's where this mess started to unravel on Friday night when the old 4:30 Friday night. Hey, walk-in freezer's down.
Oh, fuck.
We think it's stuck in a defrost timer. And I'm like, that's nice. So I called the CSI, our service provider, and they're going, I said, you got anybody just sitting around? And they're going, let us check. We'll call you back in a little bit. And like 2 seconds later, they call back. Are you willing to pay overtime? Well, yes, I'm willing to pay overtime.
Right.
Yes, I'm willing to pay the $150 an hour, plus the truck charge, plus the whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Luckily, we get it thing. It was a little pinhole in a factory part, that caused it. I'm sure it's out of warranty. I'm sure
it's out of warranty. It went out last week.
Yeah.
Out of warranty.
So anyway, freezers, well, I guess I should look. Nobody paid attention. They're probably won't tell me if freezer's out of inventory. Even
Probably 70
even,
degrees and palmish, humid in there now by now.
matter of fact, I just got a text message before I came here going, "Hey, do they have any extra chips at the Ornery Chicken? We're out of chips at Second Avenue." And
Holy shit.
I said they don't sell chips at the Ornery Chicken, but if you go outside to the other freezer outside, last week there was 3 backup cases of chips remember when we had 10 extra cases of chips in the freezer and we were going, wow, we got way too many. And somebody said, hey, there's also 3 extra backup cases of chips out there. Did we think about that? So yeah, the fun's never ending. So I'm this close to naming an inventory control manager that just controls nothing but every single pen that we have. So we have a live inventory and counts I'm going to have a person just running around counting every single thing we have all the time. So,
Well, as big as you guys are getting, and with so many different
not really a bad
entities,
idea.
it's maybe not that bad of an idea.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But you would think each individual location would be able to do that.
Yeah.
it's just such
You
a
would think.
monster. It's such a monster. I mean, it's like, I got the employees last night. I'm in the Second Avenue restaurant. They're going, hey, we need bowls. We need bowls. We need bowls. I'm like, okay, can we tell me we need bowls before we run out of bowls?
Right.
At the end of the day, when all the bowls are empty, can somebody just look around in the morning and go, wow, we've only got 10 bowls? And where are these bowls going? Is everybody taking them home? Can we go do some, can we walk around and maybe has everybody got oatmeal bowls at home? Or no, we think they throw them away. Well, okay, can we maybe quit throwing them away?
What kind of bowls?
Just salad bowls, that we serve, side salads and they're
Okay.
melamine bowls, right?
Oh, okay. Oh,
Throwing those
Okay.
away would be crazy.
yeah.
Well, it's like silverware. We go through silverware like it's going out of style. And people are like, why do you
silverware-
buy?
Silverware I can kind of see just because sometimes it people it gets caught under something and you just don't when you're moving quickly on a Friday night. I could
But-
see just
But we have magnets. We have
Well, yeah.
magnets on top of every trash can that catch the silverware.
I'm not saying.
I think it's the dishwashers that go, I don't want to wash this shit.
Boom.
Well,
Don't you have cameras? Can't you just find that out?
oh yeah, I got all kinds of
You
time.
got plenty of time to
study.
do that.
I got plenty
Do
of
Dick
time to
Tracy.
study
My bad.
cameras.
My bad. My
Yeah.
bad. My bad.
Yeah, do Dick Tracy
I forgot.
time,
Yeah, here. Let me go ahead and if I'm looking over here to the side, Emma, while we're doing the podcast, I'll be reviewing
My bad.
security cameras.
Forgot. I take it back. Jesus.
God, does this sound familiar, but just on a lot smaller scale. So I guess the moral of the story is, no matter what level, there's still some of that fuckery going on. Even a one-man shop like me, I have got good on inventory because I'm doing it all myself now. So when I see that we run out of something, you go out the kitchen. We got the noodle board, that noodle board stuff. That kitchen's lined with that. And just as you go out the door, I got a dry erase marker, and I've got probably about that long list of stuff I've accumulated. There's the Sam's list, there's the MJ Kellner list, and then there's the Webstront list.
Yeah.
There you go.
Webstront.
Yeah.
But still,
here's our problem, Randy. We're trying to, because our walls, we're trying to figure out. We can't even find a place in the damn kitchen that's not so busy to even put a board.
oh, I could imagine, and that is visible and stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you, in our business, and it's a great thing. You cannot bitch about, people, we keep joking about this 3 more week thing. And we're kind of hoping this thing lets up. But I think Tuesday alone, we have a 750 person catering. And a
Wow.
half hour later, we have an 800 person catering.
Oh my God.
Right? I mean, it is absolutely nuts. I mean, this thing, and I told somebody, I told somebody the other day, and I said, God, I think I'm going to have to raise my prices to get this to slow down. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Fuck
No,
that.
don't do that.
I just got to figure out. I mean, we even have it now. Our second kitchen here is crazier than shit. I mean, it's crazier than shit with the school lunches, and now that's leading to a bunch of caterings and the Crafty Mac and the Ornery Chicken caterings, and I mean, we're just a catering powerhouse now that it's like trying to find kitchen space to produce this stuff. We're going to have to bring on a third shift somehow to produce this stuff in the middle of the night.
Well, that may not be a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah. I just don't want calls in the middle of the night. You know, I mean, I treasure my 8:30 p.m. to 12 p.m. 12 a.m.
I was
sleep.
gonna say,
Right.
4
Well, yeah.
hours. You're 4
And
hours.
Sam's isn't
suppressed.
open 24/7, so
No,
you know,
Sam's is not open 24/7.
fuckers, if they'd open up a little bit, they'd get some more business.
I tell you, I was so excited yesterday morning. I felt like a restaurateur for the first time in months. I sat down. Well, I sat down with it's my jam cafe menu, right?
Oh,
Sneak.
It looks
preview,
so good.
Right. Sneak preview, right?
Are you doing paper?
Breakfast.
nice.
Well, it'll be laminated and stuff, right? So anyway, I sit down with the menu, and of course, Darren has to have a spreadsheet, right?
Right.
And so Amanda has tried to conform me to Google Sheets, right? Because she came
Right.
out
She
of
should.
the Google thing. And I really haven't paid much attention. So finally on Friday, I said, you got to, Friday morning in our 6 a.m. meeting, I said, you got to kind of tell me what this shit's about. You got to explain this to me in stupid ass terms, which then she did.
I mean,
And
it's the same as Excel.
well,
It's just
it
easier.
is. It is.
It's just
but I
easier
said,
to share.
I said, but I need to see it on my phone because she's used to doing it on her computer. And I said, my computer most of the time is somewhere that I am not. So I found that I could download the Google Sheets app on my
Right.
phone.
Right.
But what is great about the Google Sheets app, and I didn't know that it automatically backed up to the Google Sheets app on my phone, which it does, right?
Right.
But the great thing about it is the Google Sheets app actually blows it up and zooms it in so you can actually work on it on your phone. Yep.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
This is our-
like here.
This is my trivia
Randy,
one.
Right.
We have a
right.
list of places
Trivia.
you can. Yeah,
So
we have a list of
I was
places
able
you
to
can play
go in,
trivia.
Randy, and I was
Google
able to go in.
Drive.
I was able to go in, and I didn't quite understand that. She got that all explained. So I took our entire breakfast menu on, well, this was Saturday morning, early, and I got the entire breakfast menu in, and I said, here's every menu item. And I was able to say, okay, I filled it out and said, okay, like here's a Denver omelet. And I was able to say, okay, here's how many ounces of scrambled egg mix. Here's how many ounces of onions. Here's how many ounces of green pepper. And I didn't fill in the number of ounces because I don't know what that is yet.
Sure.
And here's how many ounces of shredded cheddar cheese and how many ounces of ham and one slice of toast and this much whatever and this many ounces of hash browns. And then I rolled it all up into here's a cost, and I got to figure if I want 25% food cost or 30% food cost, and here's my estimated retail. So I got all this basis set up. So then this week we're going to go through and we're going to cook all this stuff and we're going to weigh it all out so that I can now, but while I'm on my phone, instead of having my computer there, now I can just go in and I can boom. In the meantime, then Amanda can be sitting here in her office while she's baking. She can be doing the school lunch thing. She can be looking up the cost and the yield of green peppers and onions and biscuits and whatever. She can be doing behind the scenes for me, plugging in those costs for me on my same sheet. So I shared it to her early this morning and said, hey, you start filling in this. And then off to the side, I said, okay, here, I need recipes on all this stuff. Some of these recipes are like chicken fried steak. We make our own chicken fried steak at Smokey D's. Well, we already have that recipe. So now we can make another tab, bring that recipe in that has that cost into it and tie it into this. And boom, 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 off we go.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You said something there and there. Your yield on green peppers.
Yes.
Where do you find that information, or how do you get that? What your yield is on green peppers?
Well, so I was going to buy a case of green peppers and cut some bitches up. Okay. Now, but Amanda has.
I got
here
it.
is. You got it?
Why did you ask if you got it? Are you getting a piece of paper to write it down? What's happening?
No, it's the book of yields,
Oh.
Oh, yep. I have that.
and it's got everything you can imagine about in here, and gives you the yields and everything. So you don't have
Okay.
to.
So the book of
So
yields,
people
Randy.
can know.
Right. So the book of
that's
yields, Randy. So while we're talking, you just look up the yield on green peppers.
While he's doing that,
So
I would like to advocate that every business should be running on Google platforms if you're doing something that is from a collaborative standpoint. You know what I mean? Like with your Google Sheets, it is the most efficient. It's the most efficient way to share information.
Now, right, it is. Now,
That's how our entire company works.
If you talk to our buddy Seth, Randy and our good buddy Seth, who is a chief technology officer for one of the biggest insurance brokerage firms in the world, and used to be in charge of technology for the Jim Beam brands, he will tell you that Microsoft is much superior in security than Google is.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah,
So he will say it's not the most secure thing to do.
Yeah.
Right? From
From
security.
But collaborative wise, so like with,
So if you want to share shit with the world, it's if you want to share shit with the world and everybody can see it, great.
Yeah. Because our company, we use Google, and I'm on Google Docs all day, every day, and it's just much easier.
Yeah.
Google
and I was very Google Sheets, Google Docs. I was a big believer. I sent her a message early this morning. Hopefully she didn't have her notifications on because it was like 4:30 this morning. I sent it to her. I'm like, yeah, I'm a believer.
Yeah.
But
she wouldn't have woken up. I have a dog having a nightmare. Can you guys hear him?
But Randy, she also has a USDA that they use in the food service business in the school business that does the same thing. A website. She was going to give me a login or whatever that you go into. But one of the things we're doing in the breakfast restaurant, so I'm all about speed and efficiency and trying to get that stuff. So one of the things that we're doing with all our vegetables, because it takes a long time to saute a vegetable, and there's me personally. One thing I don't want in my omelet, I do not want a crunchy vegetable, right? I don't want a crunchy vegetable. No, not doing it. I do not want a crunchy onion. I do not want a crunchy vegetable. I don't care if there's
onion. It makes sense.
But I don't want a crunchy one. Now, I don't care if it has. I don't want it to be soft, but I don't want it to be crunchy. So one of the things that we're doing with all our vegetables that are like onions and peppers. And we're also introducing, I know it's twice more expensive, but I'm also going to have red peppers as an option. Most restaurants don't do that. They have only green
81% yield.
81. So her answer was 78% according to the USDA.
Okay.
But very close. So we're going to say, boop, we'll throw that at 80%. So 80% yield off of there. But then our yield's going to be a little less than that because we're actually going to take that and put it on a sheet tray and drizzle a little oil on top of it or a little pan spray and put it in an oven and cook it down a little bit and get a little bit of that water out of there.
Okay.
Which is then going to actually preserve it and keep the shelf life a little bit better. But then when we put it on there, it doesn't take us long. All we have to do is heat it up. We don't have to saute it at all. So if I'm doing an omelet, I can just heat it up. So all my vegetables that need sauteed, onions and peppers, and we're going to roast jalapenos. Instead of doing a pickled jalapeno, we're going to do a fresh jalapeno and then roast it. Will be like that. Can you hear us, Emma? Can you hear us?
Yeah. Well, my dishwasher just got really loud and I could hear it. My headphones are noise canceling. Well, they're supposed to be. And it freaked me out that I could hear the dishwasher for a split second. I was worried it was exploding.
So anyway, just kind of blah, 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 whatever. But so I was kind of excited. It kind of got me into it because on Friday I'm at the jam by myself because Brian, who's going to be one of our guy running the kitchen there, is he's been on the food truck for the last 4 days. So we got
Oh, you've had the
virtually
food truck out.
4 times. So which means virtually got nothing done in the kitchen, except for Darren was playing around in the kitchen by himself when he wasn't running around getting out of stock Oswego inventory items. But anyway, so Shayla's been talking to me because we got the chorizo recipe finally nailed to exactly where we want it. And she goes, "Are you ever going to make me chorizo hash?" I'm like, "Yep, I'll make it." So I just grabbed, instead of getting the flat tops up, I just grabbed skillets and I had some ground up chorizo. And so I did the chorizo. I got some hash browns going and I went and got some red pepper. I took red peppers and green peppers and onions. I rough chopped them and I sauteed those up, which took forever, which then said, "Man, we need to be baking these off." And I said, "Hey, is the queso heated up at Second Avenue? I'm going to be coming in hot." She goes, "Yeah, it's up." So I put the hash and I put the chorizo all over the top of it and I put the red peppers and I cooked a couple over easy eggs, which weren't going to be over easy by the time I got there because I knew I had to travel 5 minutes, and I put queso all over the top of it and they were like just dying over this chorizo hash.
Good.
They were just going crazy. And so that kind of prompted me like, okay, now I'm ready to get this shit going. I'm ready to really start cooking. So tomorrow, talk to Brian, no food truck events this week. I said, let's get the kitchen, let's get it fully stocked up with every ingredient. And we're just going to go through and start measuring everyone and cooking every single item on this menu. We're going to start with every breakfast item. And then we're going to go through every lunch item, cook it through, make sure it's what we need to do. Boom. And let's get this bitch going.
So I know you're an Excel. You've always been a spreadsheet person ever since I've known you.
Yep.
But you think Google's a good way to go.
Well, yeah. So you can in my research that I've done in that 5 minutes sitting on the toilet, and I really did do this 5 minutes sitting on the toilet, I was still working, was you can take and you can open up Google Sheets and you can import the Excel spreadsheet into Google Sheets, or there's another piece of software that you can buy that is called there is another piece of software, and now I won't be able to find it without going down a rabbit hole, because that's where I usually go. That you can actually keep your Excel spreadsheet and your Google sheet, and it will sync them back and forth.
Really? Interesting.
Yep. And it's like $79 a month or whatever, or a year. I don't know.
Oh,
whatever.
My God.
That's nothing, Emma.
For you.
So what do you think the biggest advantage? What do you think the biggest advantage of Google Docs over
the Google Docs is? There's no saving. You never save the doc. It's automatically saved.
Yeah, it's automatically saved.
And Randy,
to a drive.
If you and I are saving, if I'm sharing a doc, if you update it, it updates it automatically to me. Or the ability. So let's say my barbecue recipes. If I have my barbecue recipes, it used to be I would save it on my computer, but then I'd have to send me a copy and I'd have to email it to my phone. Where this, and I could do the same thing in OneNote, very similar, whatever, but I think it's easier that if I save it under my Google Drive, then I could pull it up while I'm at the barbecue contest and I could go, oh yeah, here it is. And if I change something, I could change it here and it updates it on my computer. So no matter,
you got it updated everywhere.
I'm totally in sync.
So yeah, it's just it's essentially like it's a cloud platform. So it saves everything to one spot and you have one home base. It also is a lot better from like a collaborative standpoint. So if you both could be working on the same document at the same time and it wouldn't affect the saving or anything. So like if you guys decided to do, I don't know what you would be doing together, but like when I was in high school, I would do group projects and all 3, 4 of us could be on the document at the same time doing our part of the project, and it would automatically save to everybody's document. So everyone was seeing what was going on in real time.
Right.
And it's just more, it's just better from a like, from like a collaborative and cloud standpoint. Because, right, with Microsoft, you have to save and send it to, if somebody else,
Understood.
has to work on it, you have to save it, send it to them. They have to save it, send it back. And this way, it's, simultaneously updating on everybody's stuff.
And Randy, it'll be so much better that when we lose this election and China takes us over, it'll be so much easier for them to control all
We're not
this
political.
information. Because
We're not political.
They'll have it already.
They'll have it already.
Yeah,
and hold it as
it'd be so much
ransom,
easier.
and we'll have to
exactly,
pay for it.
Exactly. It'd be so much easier.
Cocksucker.
That was a very political standpoint on a not political podcast.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
Well, we have a rule. We don't talk about that stuff. Maybe it'll get cut.
Right.
Who knows?
Hashtag
I
word
might just-
salad.
Oh, okay.
Word salad.
You two need to stop it.
Word salad.
Okay.
I always think
So
something
I think
dirty
we were-
when you say word salad. It makes me think something dirty. I don't know why.
Because your head is so far up the gutter. It's fine.
What?
Can I just
Your
ask?
head
Can
is
I
so
just
far in the
ask?
gutter.
Can I just add one thing? Though?
No.
Yes.
No.
I just want to give
No.
one piece of advice.
No.
This is a very good piece of advice. I just have one ask. Just one ask. It's a political ask, but it's one ask.
No.
No. This is very simple. This is not too much to ask.
Jesus.
If you're going to vote a different way because you hate an orange man, right?
Right.
Just do us a favor. If that's the reason you're going to vote in other ways because you hate the orange man, then when it comes to the Senate and House races, please vote the other way. Please vote for the Republican Party so that there's balance, right?
Exactly.
So there's balance. Okay, that's all I ask. Okay, next subject. Because you want balance of power. You want balance of power in the government. That's all you want. Okay, next subject.
Moving along.
Okay. Same the other
I
way.
thought that was interesting about the Google Docs.
You just want balance of power. Okay, good.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's just words. That was nothing really political. That was just...
No, I didn't think so.
Okay. So we have a topic today, I think, right? Let's just go to that. Let's just not talk about this anymore. I think we were going to talk about.
Yeah,
we're going
real
back to
nervous.
catering topics. But I think Randy had a great idea that we should talk about transporting caterings for businesses all sizes and things, and kind of how you keep things warm and cold and all the stuff. So, let's discuss that and not.
I think, Darren, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am most of the time, for somebody starting out in catering, if they were saying, what would be the first thing I should buy besides your smoker or your equipment, that, I think a Cambro, a multi-pan Cambro would be one of the best things they could buy, a person could buy. And those things aren't cheap, but they're going to pay for themselves hand over fist. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think, I've wanted to try. So if you're doing it by yourself, I really like, and Randy, have you used those lighter ones, the ones that are like styrofoamish? Do you have any of those?
No, I don't have any of those.
So Brian and Carrie have some.
I have
those.
used some.
Have you used some?
I've seen them someplace.
I worry about them holding up from a strength standpoint. Now, they've said people have stood on top of them. I worry about giving those to my employees. They cannot keep from wrecking vans.
Right.
So I worry about them just obliterating. And I've thought about testing some of them because a weight of a Cambro. I mean, I was helping load a van the other day, and holy shit, you take You take a full size Cambro and you put 4 or 5 pans of beans in there.
Right.
I mean, that's 100+ pounds thing, and it's heavy. And I don't want employees lifting that much weight anyway. So they have some 3-pan ones, but if you take away the weight of the Cambro, which is 25 pounds or 20 pounds, it takes some weight off of there. But I like that. But no, I agree. The Cambro will hold stuff for a long, long time. And I think it's probably your best investment to start. Some people use coolers and whatever, but I think just a Cambro and having the space to hold is a great
way to go. And now it's maybe because the way we're set up, we don't ever load Cambros and then load them into a vehicle. We're set up so we can just back the van or the truck, the van usually up to the shed door and just load into that way. So that way we don't have to move those around and stuff. But that's just the way we're set up. But for somebody starting out, save you from lugging them around.
Yeah, see, we have Cambros. Our system is, we have carts that we buy from Uline or whatever that will fit two full-size Cambros on the top.
Stacked.
Where not stacked, just
stacked.
we have side by side.
Okay.
Side by side, and then the Cambro doors open, and we're able to load the pans, and then we can shut the Cambro doors, and then when we go out to load the van, then the Cambros, you're not lifting them up or whatever. You're just you have to lift them over the lip, but you're not lifting deadlift from the ground or lifting up. Okay. So you're just lifting them over and sliding them into the van, and then when you get to the catering, you're just kind of lifting them over the lip. You're not. So the carts are even with the van.
And that's something you get from Uline?
Yeah, Uline. And then we carry, so when we go on a catering, we carry those carts with us.
What do they call those? I'm
carts.
Hang on. I will look up, since I'm the guy that never deletes an email.
The Cambros are kind of a weird size though, like height wise. So if you have like a shorter employee like me, they're really hard to lug around just because the size of them.
Randy, the item number with Uline is an H-2504 GR, and that GR is for gray. It's a Uline utility cart, and it's a 45 by 25 by 33-inch tall utility cart. They sell for $145 a piece.
Okay.
Now we buy them by the buttload, and they have a handle on them. And so 2 of those full-size Cambros will fit on top. Or you can fit like 6. I mean, they're perfectly wide to fit the Cambros, but
really,
and you can put there, and so you can put the Cambro on it, but the lip is just enough that when you put the Cambro on there, the door will open up.
Ah, nice.
Right, so you can still open the door, or you can
2 of them side by side. You say
2 of them side by side, perfectly.
Now you take that with you to the event.
We take it, so we load them up, and sometimes a big event, we'll take 2 of them, and we just flip them on their end in the back of the van,
right? And
we take them to the event. That's how we make all our deliveries.
Everybody
always has a cart. So if you have a delivery coming in, we leave all our delivery carts in all the vans. And so when you get ready to make a delivery, you go grab your cart, you grab your Cambros, you come in, we fill it up, we put your bread rack and stuff on the bottom shelf or any box or delivery stuff. You go out, you load it back up, you get to the thing, you walk in with it. So how do you make a delivery into an office building?
Just get a cart. 9 times out of 10, most places will have a cart we can use, like a utility cart.
Randy.
And then we'll stack the pans on it and take them in.
Oh, Randy.
Really?
You're doing it wrong, man.
No, man.
You're doing it wrong.
Oh, you are way doing it wrong. This is full service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, you don't want to
stack
need a cart. Pans on it. Because then you get there and that food's going to stay hot all the way. They'll take you got a cart. You don't have to transfer anything. They take you right to the buffet line. You open up, you set up the buffet line. Boom.
Right.
Off you go. And if you have any trash, like let's say they want you to take the pan lids off, you just take the pan lids off. You can throw them inside the Cambro. Ain't
Right.
gonna hurt anything. When you get back, you got all the trash. If you got any
Oh,
extra
they do.
utensils that you take along, you throw them. Oh, I thought you knew that. You haven't seen that
No,
operation?
no, never
Mm.
have.
Oh
It's
yeah, you should have
smooth.
that. Oh, it's
I'll order one as soon as we
The
get
only
off.
time it's not smooth is when you go to a place where you have to take the food up to the second
upstairs.
level and there's no
Right.
elevator.
But at least
That's
you
when
get
it
it
sucks.
close enough.
And
At least you're
but
getting
in
closer
that
than the outside door.
but in that case, if it's only a few stairs, you actually take your cart and go put it on the second thing, and you carry the Cambro up the stairs. Or
Okay.
we make sure in that we take small Cambros and then we put the cart on the second level and then we huff it up. Or to me, I'm carrying that in our delivery bags.
Speaking
never
of
take
other things, do you ever use the single serve Cambros?
We use them all the time for small little ones.
Those were
Right.
the only caterings I did were with single serve Cambros.
I found on some regular caterings, smaller caterings, especially a lot of these ag things where you're doing them in a machine shed or whatever, where we're going to stay there and take care of it. Or, I mean, we're a small enough area. I'll take it to we'll take a single serve Cambros, drop them off, and then it stays when it's just a single pan of something, and then they stay hot good enough, and then just come back and pick them up.
Yeah.
But those single serve Cambros are pretty handy.
Yeah, we do a lot with deep half pans, extra deep, 6-inch deep half pans.
Right.
Now, Brian and Carrie, they do a lot in extra deep full pans, 6-inch deep full pans.
Wow, those would be heavy.
Well, they are, but they put a lot of like green beans and stuff in there. So they put them in there when they do buffet lines. So they don't have to restock it as much.
Right.
I imagine they're
6-inch deep half full pans.
full extra deep full pans.
Now, what I have done, kind of on the same thing, is put a stainless steel full size pan, extra deep full size pan in a single serve Cambro, and then put a pan liner on it. Use a pan liner.
See, I've never done that one before.
Yeah, I've got some pan liners that'll fit them.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do that and tuck the edges around on the sides. And the turkey bags work pretty good that I got from Webstront.
Yeah.
Work good for that. And but I've never used them on a full size catering, where we've got a buffet line set up and stuff. This is just typically on a single serve Cambro, drop off, come back and pick them back up type deal.
Right. So anyway, I think the cart's a great idea. I think one thing that, a lot of people do that I see, they use a lot of foil when covering their pans.
Right.
Where instead of taking the hot pan and putting saran wrap over the top of it, I remember talking with the guys from OBR early on, and they were going, yeah, we're always putting foil over these pans and we're spilling it in people's truck. I'm like, why aren't you putting saran wrap over the top of that pan? And that saran wrap kind of shrink wraps it. And,
Sure.
so if we're putting something liquid in a pan, kind of like beans or mac and cheese or our jalapeno corn, I mean, our process is we put the material in there because we do this all the day ahead of time. So we'll put beans in the pan. We'll put saran wrap over the pan. We put a foil lid. We always use foil lids. We never use foil.
Do you really?
We use foil lids on everything. Just
Now,
more
the only
professional. It's more solid, whatever. So we use foil lids on everything. And then we take it and then we put that in another pan so it seals down that foil lid,
Right.
gives you the sturdy, because we all know you got to use a second pan unless you want to, invest and have a second steel pan that you're going to do
Right.
it on, which God knows, after having that hot shot, we probably got enough steel pans we could probably do it off. But so then ours all go in the cooler and then it goes right in the oven and then right into the Cambro. So we never even open those beans or mac and cheese up.
Really?
Yep. And then we can write on the lid who it's for. And as we prep it and it goes right in the oven, go right back out and boom, just have a system.
On your liquidy stuff.
on the liquidy stuff.
Yeah.
Now everything else gets a foil lid too. We just don't put saran wrap over it.
Right.
Like
Because you're going to take it off.
our potatoes and stuff, they all go, everything follows the same process, but the potatoes aren't going to slosh out.
Right.
Everything gets a foil pan lid. Just looks more professional going out.
Oh, I agree. The only time I don't use a foil pan lid is when I'm delivering in a hot shot. And, we're setting up, and that's just for big caterings and things like that.
Right.
And we're going to be there and we're taking stuff off. But
if you're serving it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
and sometimes or delivering ribs, it's hard to, if you want to maximize your utility, you can't put a pan lid on ribs.
But I agree with you. Those lids, they sure are handy. If you're going to use Cambros, you almost got to use lids. Otherwise, they'll prolapse into each other and stuff. And get all messed up.
But one of her advice, some bitches are sharp on the corners.
Well, now I disagree with you.
What?
If you get them, if you go to Sam's Clubs and get their lids, they've already got the beveled edges on them, and they aren't sharp.
Huh. Well, we don't go to Sam's Club very often, Randy.
Well, I knew that. You're hardly ever there, so you might not know. Sometimes take a field trip and go to Sam's Club, and you check. But yeah, they've got the beveled ones on there, and it eliminates cutting your fingers.
I've watched Darren cut his fingers at a catering, so maybe he should get one of those.
Bled like a stuck hog. That's
that was one of the funniest things ever.
That was my invention idea, Randy.
I know, you had mentioned it once before.
I was going to have the 3M type tape that you stuck to the bottom of the pan lid that said open here. So when the customer got it, you had the two tabs that stuck out, and the customer grabbed the tape, the end of the tape, and it pulled out, and then it lifted the lid for them. And so, that's just one of those extra, the extra with the customer. As soon as they get there, I said, hey, leave these lids on, but I will warn you, don't open on these corners. You got to open on the sides.
Yeah.
One time I did a catering with Darren. The only time I did a catering with Darren. We were at the Chambers of Commerce in Ankeny, and he looked at me and he said, hey, be careful when you open these corners. You will cut your hand. And literally, as he was saying that, he sliced his hand open. Like, good. And I have never laughed so hard. I looked at him and was like, wow, you're such a dumbass.
Hey, can we go backwards and talk about catering for a minute? Let's talk about a recap of this breakfast catering from last week.
Oh,
Randy's phone's ringing.
Whose?
I think it's Randy's.
Oh, Jesus, Randy. Let's talk about Let's talk about this breakfast catering.
Yeah, how'd your cold brew do?
You talk about a well-oiled machine.
Nice.
Of course, there was 4 of us that were fucking hopping since 6 a.m. till 9:30, but we got her done. The only one thing, them damn egg bites wanted to be a little sticky. They took a little bit more time than I wanted. Everything else went without a hitch. I mean, it went off really good. The product, everything was good. The cold brew was 10 times better than what I served you when I switched the coffee.
When you switched to coffee, did you switch the cream too?
Nope. I switched the coffee. I used your formulation, but I switched the switched the coffee, and I could not believe when I tasted it. I'm like, holy shit, this is good, right?
Yeah.
And so, of course, I took it to Shayla in the office, and she goes, this tastes kind of too, I don't know, whatever. I'm like, just, okay, I'm never coming to you for whatever. So anyway, we delivered it, whatever. And so we sent it back, and the cold brew was gone. So I sent a message to the customer. I said, hey, I'd like some honest feedback, need some constructive criticism. Just let me have it, right? And she goes, I tell you what, she goes, it was all amazing. Everything was amazing. And she goes, the cold brew was a huge, huge hit. I mean, I sent 3 gallons of it, and they sucked it dry, right?
Really?
The only downfall, we had sent the biscuits and gravy. We'd sent small cups, and they had, and we sent like 75 biscuits cut up, but I only sent like a gallon and a half of gravy because I had all this other stuff, egg bites and whatever. We didn't send enough gravy. Amanda
Right.
said, "You're probably not sending enough gravy." I said, "I know I'm probably not sending enough, but I'm not gonna, this isn't a biscuit and gravy buffet. I'm trying to get them to." And she says, "We ran out of gravy. The guys that's the only thing we ran out of. We had biscuits left over, but not enough gravy. That's the only
Right.
thing I do was," she goes, "but everybody was thoroughly impressed with everything. We'll definitely be doing this again, da, 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 da." And then she called back the next day and said, "Hey, I have she goes, I have behind home plate tickets for the rest of the week for the Iowa Cubs. Are you interested in anything? I have them for the rest of the week. Would you like them?" She's offering me baseball tickets.
I'll be damned. So it went well.
Anyway, yep. And then on Wednesday we did another catering we got up at I was there at 3:00 in the morning. We knocked out 70 sandwiches and burritos. We did hand smashed sausage sandwiches and bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches and homemade breakfast burritos, chorizo, egg and cheese burritos. We knocked that out for a 4:30 a.m. delivery.
Wow.
Got that done. And then we did a breakfast egg and hash brown type casserole on Friday morning for a 7 a.m. delivery. Knocked that out. That was kind of good. So we were breakfast catering fools.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the thing of it is one thing will lead into another.
Yeah. So it was good. And plus, in the meantime, it got some testing. I mean, we were actually developing recipes for some of this shit the night before. I mean, literally the night before.
Yeah.
But that's fine. We got her done, and then we're like, wonder what that tasted like when we sent it out. So
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Then on Friday afternoon, I'm like, "Hey, Amanda, I got some leftover stuff. Make this and let's see what it tastes like." So she made it again. We're going, "Yeah, we just need to tweak this here and tweak this here." And
Sure.
everything was a huge hit. So,
But your cold brew turned out pretty good.
the cold brew, matter of fact, that's a note I got to make. I have these notes jotted down somewhere about so many ounces and so many ounces, whatever. But it was a huge hit, except for I used real coffee filters instead of a paper towel this time to filter. Fuck!
Mm-hmm.
It took. That was on Monday. On Sunday night, it took. Sherry's like, I get home Sunday night. It must have been 6:30, and she goes, "What do you got to do?" And I said, "I need to make sausage. Take me 15 minutes. Filter this cold brew. I'll be done in a half hour." An hour and a half later, I'm still trying to get this cold brew filtered because I had a
Really?
funnel with a regular coffee filter.
Right.
It took forever to filter this cold brew through a regular coffee filter. But man, either that or the type of coffee, whatever, made a huge
I feel like it was the
difference.
type. Well, did you? Because you had it on Sunday, the new coffee, didn't you? And I thought you just said that the coffee was better.
I thought the
Or
coffee
Saturday
was,
when we recorded.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah,
So I feel
thought
like
the
that's
coffee
probably what it was.
I thought the coffee was better, but man, it was good. And that's the coffee we're going to use in the restaurant anyway. So.
Woohoo!
Good.
So anyway, carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but
No. There it went.
No, it was good.
There it goes. But hey, I haven't heard any combines go by or grain trucks or anything.
No.
We did get a lot of comments. We did get a lot of comments on Randy's statement yesterday about how there needs to be deer school. People thought that was the funniest shit they had ever heard. So many
Well, it's the
people
truth.
commented about that. Can you guys stop?
What are you running? A dog pound?
That's what I was wondering. You running a kennel there?
Pretty much. I have all of the family dogs at this point in time. So obviously mine, and then my sisters and my parents. So, yay. And my parents' dog is the most well behaved. He's over here, literally. He's got first child energy, oldest child, like just very mellow, wants to be next to me, but not do anything, and just show his love and appreciation. So he's sitting in the corner just watching me, and then the other two are chaotic. And we were all napping a little bit ago, and now we're not.
Nap.
Yeah.
So what else on transportation?
So transportation and just, I've been getting some, I get quite a few of inquiries from people, and I try and answer them as much as I can, as quick as I can. But, you get a lot of these guys that, they only have so much capacity and they're trying to cater for 50 people. So,
Right.
hey, I've just got a pellet grill and I need to cater for 50 people. How do I do this? I need to cater brisket and beans and wings, and what should I do first?
Right.
And it's just a matter of, okay, what can I get done first? What can I cook ahead of time? So you just think about, can you cook stuff ahead of time and then retherm it? So it's like stages, like Randy and I were discussing earlier. Potatoes and beans, you get them done, you get them hot, they'll hold in one of those Cambros for a long time.
Long time.
Right? Long time. And even if you put them in there, and beans are pretty damn resilient. I mean, even if you put beans in that Cambro 6 hours ahead of time and you heat something up, I'm not saying you can't even go back to the pit with those beans before. Put something else in there and put the beans back in there for a half hour, an hour. I mean, I saw that yesterday on the food truck. We had a food truck event 2 hours away. I'm still trying to figure out who booked that son of a bitch, and I'll get to the bottom of it. A food truck event through the hills of western Iowa, 2 hours away.
Yikes.
I mean, if I would have been driving that food truck, I'd been suicidal. Food truck event 2 hours away. I mean, I can't wait to talk to my kitchen guy that had to drive the food truck.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, Randy, you got a much newer food truck than us. We've got a 300,000-mile Freightliner.
Right.
And it'll only go 60 mile an hour on the interstate up hills. So I imagine he was doing 35 up the hills and 60 down.
Right.
But I mean, it just had to be
It's a hilly
brutal.
drive that way.
And they left at 1 o'clock. And when I left the restaurant at 8:30, they still weren't back. All for $1,500 in sales.
Ain't going to happen again.
Well, I guarantee it ain't going to happen, because I'm surprised that Sherry probably hasn't drove it up somewhere and put a for sale sign on it yet already today.
Right. Right.
But anyway, but so they had taken out the pork and whatever in the morning, and then they accidentally pulled some of the pork that they weren't supposed to. And they had it sitting on a sheet tray in the warmer. And I'm like, no. So we quick cryovac it hot, and I put it in the warmer. Well, they got ready to leave, and I'm like, okay, this is fine. It's sitting at 145 degrees, but this ain't going to last 2 hours. So I threw it in the CVAP at 300 degrees, and I got that like smoking hot. And I said, throw that in the Cambro, and that residual heat will carry it all the way over. So don't be scared to give things some more heat into not all the way to the center, but get the outside of it hot.
Right.
And throw it in that Cambro and let that residual heat carry it through.
And I think, and I'm guilty of this as anybody, I don't use my Cambros well enough. And what I mean by, I try to get everything ready so when it's ready to go, it's ready when we go out the door. And you just can't do that. And that's a good way to get behind on getting stuff done. So use those Cambros, because they'll keep, as you were saying, they'll keep stuff good and hot, and you just use them and feed to them, and you'll be fine. But every now and then I get my ass handed to me, and then I realize, use Cambros, remember?
Well, and another mistake I think that we make is the opposite of that, is we have a tendency to, run mac and cheese, and, you run it all the way up in temp, and then you throw 4 full pans of fully cooked mac and cheese in the same Cambro.
Right.
And then you get to the catering and go, why is this shit dry? Well, because you took it out of a 250 or 300 degree oven.
Right.
And you threw it, and all that residual heat kept cooking when you probably could have taken it out at 130 degrees. And by the time you got there, it would have been fully cooked and beautiful. And that residual heat would have kept doing it. I mean, you probably could, to tell you the truth, you could probably, if you're ever cooking salmon for a damn thing, you could probably just throw it in with your pans of hot beans and put it on the top shelf, and it'd be perfectly poached by the time you got there.
Yeah, exactly.
But you probably don't need to try it.
I mean, well, like we tested rice the other day, Amanda was testing rice. I had an idea on rice. She goes, well, I got a bag of rice. I'll test it. We were testing Spanish rice. And, so when we were a few years ago, we were at the Jack and our Cajun coon-ass buddies from Louisiana, they were making jambalaya and all that stuff. And they said, well, we need to make rice. So they grabbed a box of minute rice and they dumped it in there, and they took so much water and they got it boiling. They dumped it on the rice. They took a thing of saran wrap, thing of foil, and they threw it in the Cambro and closed the door. And they said, rice will be ready in an hour. I said, what? And he goes, yeah, that's how we cater our rice down there. And all they did was just plain white rice. And all they did was that. And an hour they pulled it out, and that rice was perfect.
And just put hot water in it.
Just put hot water in it and went. So then I was reading on Reddit the other day about Spanish rice, because Amanda the other day had bought this boil in the bag Spanish rice, and it was a little expensive. She thought it was good. I didn't think it was worth the shit, but my taste buds are all fucked up. But we, so I said this recipe was taking chicken stock and salsa, and you put it on you bring it all to a boil with some butter, and you throw it on this rice. And you then throw it in the oven for 20 minutes and then throw it in the Cambro and let it sit for 2 hours. And she did it, and she put it in the warmer, not in the Cambro. Put it in the warmer, took it out, and the rice was perfect. It was perfect. It didn't have as much flavor as we wanted. So we took it back to a couple of the Hispanic girls in the kitchen and said, what's this need? And they're like, they went and grabbed the chicken bouillon and the tomato bouillon that we had for making our salsas. And they're like, just this, so we're going to tweak the recipe a little bit, but
I'll be damned.
Just trying to think of different menu items. Couple, got a new catering company that we're thinking about on the horizon. When we get this jam up and running, I got to have another project. I'm going to be
sure
looking for something.
Sherry's going to love that.
Oh, shh. She doesn't listen to the podcast, okay? It's her birthday when this releases, by the way.
Yeah, everybody text Sherry happy birthday.
Don't tell her I haven't bought her a present yet, because I haven't had time. But it's okay. Is it wrong? Is it wrong for a guy to get just a gift card to a jewelry store?
I ain't making that call.
If it's like a big dollar or do I get just...
I don't know. That's a tricky one. One, because I don't really wear jewelry, and two, because, I feel like it would mean more if you picked something out that you thought she would like, but I would make sure you had like a gift receipt, so if she did not like it, she could exchange it.
So here's the problem. How do you buy your wife something nice? Because every time you use a credit card, she gets a text message with
"You're fucked."
Yeah, I think you just
no. Here, because I think I have
buy something in cash.
But Darren doesn't carry that much cash. But
Sherry does.
Sherry
Steal some
does.
from her wallet.
But I think once she gave me the code to the safe, and I think I have it saved somewhere. And I think if I steal it first thing in the morning, she won't miss it.
Mm-hmm.
Steal what?
There you go. Money
from the safe.
Oh, the money from... Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
If I
steal
I thought it was
money.
some credit card he was doing. I was
if
like,
I
what
steal
the
it
fuck?
from the back of the safe or whatever.
Do you want to give us that code right now? We should see if you can find it.
Well, it wouldn't do you any good because you have to have the code to get into the safe room to get to the safe.
Jesus Christ.
There's a lot of fuckery going on, Emma. You got to remember that.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah,
Better
that
be
makes
safe
sense.
than sorry.
So when you live in a barn, what's crazy is we live in a barn dominium, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we live in a barn dominium. So we built a safe room in case there's a tornado. You have a place to go. Now,
right.
If there's a tornado, the first place you go is on the patio, so you can see where it's coming from.
Yeah, I was gonna say
exactly.
But we have this all cement room, cement roof, everything. and it's got a steel door on it that it's got footings and everything underneath it that will protect us. And it's only a little 6x8 room, right? That will
Right.
protect us from a tornado. Well, the only problem is Sherry, it's her safe room, right? Well, which means she put her safe in there.
Right.
So she has this big safe in there, and she's got a countertop, and it's like her office.
Right.
But it's got this big safe. Sit.
Settle down.
Sit.
Settle down.
Ah.
Settle down.
I don't know what's happening. You guys can keep talking about the safe room. I'm gonna go check that out.
Jeez, I thought you were bad, Randy.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the problem is she put a keypad on there, and I can never
Right.
remember the combination. So if I'm home by myself and there's a tornado, I'm fucked anyway. So I might as well.
Yeah,
just
you're
go out of
screwed
that.
anyway because you don't have the passcode to get in.
Right.
Neighbor with a dog walked by.
Oh. Kind of.
Twyla doesn't bark at that stuff. Twyla doesn't bark at that. Miles and Simon don't live here, so they barked at it. And that happened Twyla to bark.
Side
It's a
by
chain
side
reaction.
going by. I wonder what them fuckers are up to this morning. Kind of out and about early.
It's 10
10
a.m.
o'clock, Randy.
Yeah, it is, I guess.
Okay.
So
We're up
anyway,
to
what else
something.
about catering? We're all over the place here.
I don't know. Do we have anything else?
I don't think we have anything
We've
else.
hit our mark.
We've hit our hour, so.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, next week, Randy and I, we're going to Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Murfreesboro, Illinois, yeah.
Yeah, what are we going to record live? Like Randy's first episode? Well, maybe not live, but the two of you in the same place?
Well, we could try. Randy, you want? Can we do that Saturday morning? Since we could just do it. Randy,
Can you
we
guys
could-
share a microphone?
Well, yeah, I'll be barbecuing, and Randy will be sitting in the chair, and I can just hop in every once in a while.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. We
What
could
the
try
fuck
that.
you doing, D?
I could,
What's going
I could-
on, D?
Yeah.
I could bring the hot spot and try and do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. Look at us. Is that on Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be in the morning? Before
Yes.
11?
Yes.
Okay, great. Carter has a football game. And he does start. Special teams.
He does start. Did he win
Yeah,
yesterday?
special teams. Yeah.
Did he get any interceptions or anything?
No. Not like the week before. But
All right, we'll
Anyway.
plan on coming broadcasting live from Murfreesboro.
Randy,
Can't
are
wait.
you bringing your equipment or no?
yeah, you
I don't
both
really
should
have
bring
any.
it just in case. Just bring your microphones. Just in case.
Okay, I can bring a microphone.
laptop.
Yeah, I guess we could do a dual setup.
Well, so like the
Call
first
Seth
episode
and find
Randy
out
was
how to do
on.
it.
No, the first episode that Randy was on, we did just the two of it was just one computer. You guys shared a microphone. You guys had
Yeah, but
quite
we
the
could
little
have
setup.
one setup inside the trailer and one setup outside the trailer.
Yeah, that's true. You could, and
But we'd
one
be
could be
sucking
interviewing
up
people walking by.
But we'd be sucking up off the same internet.
Yeah, that was a weird sentence, but yes.
We're gonna try it.
Yeah.
All right,
Why
I'll
not?
bring.
Everybody
don't let
bring
me
their
forget
stuff.
to bring my microphone. So,
Okay, I'll
I'm
send
gonna
you
throw
guys a
mine in the
text.
bag right now.
Okay,
well,
perfect.
I'll put it in my pile of.
Okay. Well, if you guys haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube
Hey, I
at
got
Cue the Mic Podcast. Okay.
Randy's got important news.
This just in. If you're in Central Illinois, tune in to Channel 20 WICS Tuesday morning at 7:40. I'll be broadcasting live from the studio.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna make?
I think I'm going to cook pork loin. Should I do pork
Right on.
loin or an apple crisp?
Ooh,
Oh, fall what? You know what I would do,
apple
Randy?
crisp might be better.
What's that?
You know what I would do, Randy?
What's that?
I would do a pork loin with an apple compote.
Ooh,
Compost.
compote.
Oh, compote.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. Anyway. Yeah, try that.
I'd wait until Monday night to practice it. Just call
Oh,
me.
I haven't even thought out the pork loins yet, so
Okay.
I'll get her down.
Okay.
Which do you
Well-
think people would like, an apple crisp or a pork loin?
I would think, you know what I'd try?
What's that? Apple
I'd
pork
do the
loin and
old
apple
one.
compote.
I'd do 1 cup cobbler if I were you.
1 cup cobbler.
Yeah.
So many
Never
great
done one of
options.
Ooh, 1 cup cobbler. So good.
Okay.
All
Anything
right.
else?
That's all I got. I got to
That's
go. What do I got to do? I got to go water sod, and then I got to go.
Meet that one guy at 11.
I got to go put on a new air conditioner on top of the brand new barbecue trailer, and then try and put a new water tank underneath the water trailer, and put a new generator on the new barbecue trailer.
A new generator.
And oh yeah, well we mounted the old generator that Sherry wanted to mount on. Then the generator didn't want to work right, so I went and bought a new generator to mount on it.
Okay.
Yeah, got to have that all done for Murfreesboro. She wanted to do it
Right.
last night. I'm like, yeah, no.
Ain't doing it. All right, sign us out.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is it for episode 74. Randy?
Boom. Done. Out of there. See you soon. Adios.
Boop.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week.